formulating scratch-resistant, soft-touch coatings. It's basically an incredible tightrope walk, right? You're trying to balance that premium, luxurious feel with actual real-world durability. And if you work in the lab, you know exactly how frustrating this specific formulation can be. So we're going to map out how to finally master this balance. And we're drawing directly from a highly specialized expert training session designed to solve this exact problem.
OnlyTRAININGS. Learn what works in the industry.
Let's just start with the elephant in the room. Why do premium soft-touch coatings fail so often out in the wild? It's this fundamental paradox that practically haunts modern paint and coating labs globally. I mean, think about it. You spend weeks, maybe even months, engineering the absolute perfect tactile feel. It looks stunningly matte, it feels just like velvet. You take it out of the lab and bam, it falls apart in the consumer's hands. Why is this specific type of coating so incredibly vulnerable compared to, say, your standard high-gloss hard coat?
Well, this perfectly illustrates that core formulation conflict. On one side, you've got the demand for a premium tactile feel and that beautiful matte aesthetic. You know, the exact stuff consumers absolutely love on car dashboards, high-end packaging, and phone cases. But combating that, you have the uncompromising demand for high scratch and mar resistance, pure, rugged durability. Trying to engineer that beautiful, soft finish without sacrificing commercial viability, it's literally like trying to mix oil and water. Usually, if you want something to resist scratches, you just make it harder. But making it harder completely destroys the premium soft-touch feel, which was the whole point of the product to begin with.
It's actually fascinating and a little terrifying how quickly a seemingly excellent coating gets ruined outside the sterile lab environment. The contrast between lab expectation and commercial reality is just stark. In the lab, flawless. Out in the real world, suddenly you've got visible scratches from just a fingernail, gloss inconsistencies, and immediate dirt pickup. But you know what the real commercial deal breakers are? Severe blocking issues like where coated parts literally stick together during shipping and extreme fingerprint sensitivity. Seriously, there is absolutely nothing worse than a premium matte black electronic device that turns into a greasy-looking mess the second you pick it up.
And look, this challenge isn't happening in a vacuum. As the industry heavily shifts toward modern environmental standards, we're relying a lot more on low-VOC and waterborne coating systems. That makes balancing softness and durability significantly more complex. We can't just use the old tricks in solvent-heavy systems that used to mask these durability issues. It's an absolute technical minefield right now for formulators trying to achieve that premium feel while staying environmentally compliant.
This training walks you through 3 really precise steps to tackle the headache. First up, strategic resin selection. Because let's face it, if you start with a fundamentally soft or overly hard resin, no amount of additives will save you later on. Next is optimizing additive interactions. This is where the real magic happens in soft-touch chemistry. And finally, mastering cross-linking and cure conditions to dial everything in. The course shows you exactly how to balance these phases to improve scratch durability, but without creating that overly hard surface that ruins the tactile experience.
Diving a bit deeper into those additives, it's a really intricate dance between waxes, silicones, and surface additives. You absolutely have to balance these specific combinations to optimize slip, feel, and surface smoothness. Getting the right slip is crucial. It's what deflects a fingernail instead of letting it dig in and scratch. But if you use the wrong silicone, you risk completely destroying your overcoatability, or worse, creating a hazy, ruined matte aesthetic. This session teaches you how to maintain that highly sought-after matte look while dialing in the absolute perfect protective slip.
OnlyTRAININGS. Learn what works in the industry.
You're learning from experts who have sat at your exact benches. They've formulated these exact same soft-touch coatings, and they've navigated the exact same scale-up failures you might be pulling your hair out over right now. They know what happens when a batch inexplicably fails on the factory floor, which, as we know, is an entirely different beast than a formulation working perfectly in a tiny 100-milliliter lab beaker. That bench experience runs incredibly deep. We're talking advanced polymer formulation, specialty additive system design, formulation failure analysis, and heavy experience in scale-up, troubleshooting, and regulatory compliance. Because they're actively working in the industry today, they are constantly analyzing additive antagonism and material conflicts. This ensures the content actually reflects what's happening right now, handling today's resins and today's strict regulations, not just what some textbooks said a decade ago.
Who is this for?
Well, it's directly targeted at specialized technical teams. It's the daily bread and butter for paint and coating R&D professionals, of course, but the stakes are exceptionally high for automotive coating teams and consumer electronics formulators. If you engineer finishes for car dashboards, steering wheels, or the back of the newest smartphone, the demands for scratch resistance and zero fingerprint marks are just incredibly intense. Technical managers and additive suppliers are also going to get massive value here by understanding exactly how their materials perform under these super strict real-world constraints.
When you enroll, you get 3 full months of access to all the course materials so you can learn at your own pace. You also get a subject-specific training certificate and downloadable presentation PDFs. But honestly, the most invaluable feature, it's the 24/7 Expert Connect discussion forum. You aren't just learning in a bubble. You have a direct lifeline to clarify your unique, specific technical doubts directly with the experts as you formulate back in your own lab. That's huge.
You'd be joining a massive network. Over 5,000 companies worldwide already trust OnlyTRAININGS to deliver actionable technical insights. These are real insights that R&D teams take and immediately apply at the lab bench the very next morning. It accelerates their development cycles and really guarantees commercial success.